welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the initial podcast with Prophet and Freebird. We're going to start out watching the video the civil rights lawyer put out today with a 70-year-old man that was slammed to the ground in Oklahoma, and then we'll get into some stuff Harvey wanted to talk about.
And you.
Hey, Top. What's going on, buddy?
The way that your vehicle was located, I'll have to write you a ticket for improper U-turn. Whenever you complete a U-turn,
I didn't U-turn.
Whenever you complete a U-turn, you're supposed to be as far to that corner as possible. Okay?
They have another car in front of her. That's why, I cannot parking behind her.
Okay. Well,
what you're seeing here is this Vietnamese man is being detained following some sort of traffic accident. The other driver in the wreck is also in this parking lot, standing off to the side. You'll see
STD, thanks for coming in. Our guy, thanks for coming in.
This man is not under arrest.
We're just going to play a little bit of this video that the civil rights lawyer put out because I was talking to Harvey about it before we get started.
I have not seen it yet. I have not seen it yet, by the way.
Yeah, I saw a little clip of it earlier.
John,
hey, Janet, welcome in.
Being issued a citation, and he's arguing about it. There's obviously a language barrier. As you'll see, the officer allows the situation to escalate into something it never should have.
you are required to go as far away between. You're not supposed to be between any cars. You're supposed to be against that curb line. Okay? I need you to sign with your finger. It's not an admission of guilt. You're just signing saying you'll take care of the citation for a ticket. You're promising saying that you'll take care of it at a later date, whether that be in court or if you take care of it outside of court.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm writing and issuing you a citation for improper U-turn. Yes, sir.
Saying things, she hitting me and I got a citation.
I'm not writing a ticket for her hitting you. Okay?
No, she hitting me. You see the...
I'm not writing a ticket.
You see the evidence. No.
Okay. I don't think that you're understanding what I'm saying here, okay?
I understand. I told you. The car, the front of her can
Whenever you make a U-turn,
I did not make a U-turn.
I'm sorry. Let me clarify, okay? Whenever you enter a little intersection thing like that, you are not allowed.
Clearly, the guy doesn't understand. And this is the point you can hear. The cops lost his patience. Hey, Crofty. Thanks for coming in. The guy's clearly lost his patience at this point right now. He should be calling for somebody else, maybe somebody that can help with the language barrier instead of now going to start to escalate. You got it. That's right, Christoph.
And I'm already getting mad watching
Oh, to go side by side next.
You're getting what?
I'm already getting upset watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a car,
guy.
okay? You have to go behind vehicles.
Hey, you are the police.
Yes.
So you know what?
Okay.
How many cars?
We are done, sir. No, we're done arguing about this. Okay. We are not We are not arguing about this.
I
Okay.
want to show you.
We argue in court. We argue in court.
You take the phone and
We argue in court. We don't argue on the side of the road. We argue in court. Yes, that's how it works. Because if not, if you don't sign this, you go to jail. Okay? I don't want to take you to jail.
I'm ready to go.
You ready to go to jail?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay, that involves impounding your car too. Okay.
If you're happy and you know clap your hands.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God! You don't have YouTube
The officer
Premium?
is threatening to arrest the Vietnamese man for not signing.
Nobody
the
just offered
citation.
it to me.
But take a look at this. Now he goes to the other driver and talks to her, and he's issuing her a citation as well. Let me know if you see differently, but it appears to me that he does not require the other driver to sign her citation.
You got a ticket also?
Yes.
Your tag's expired?
Yes.
So you're good to get out of here.
Okay.
There's a report. I'll get to you guys in a second. Wait there. So, this is the...
Can you pause it real quick?
Yeah.
All right. Did I miss something? Why is the woman getting a citation too? Did he pull over 2 cars at once? Was she a passenger?
I'm not clear. He just walked over to her. Maybe they'll explain it here a little bit more, but it is pretty strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. None of these people have this guy has no patience at all, and you can tell he's getting more and more frustrated.
Yeah. This
the ticket. There's a date at the bottom that takes to take care of it by. And below that, just a phone number, website address. We'll need to tell you how and where to take care of it. And then there is a number right there that has personal vehicle insurance information on it. Okay.
Okay. So now I just get my insurance to go out or take care of it.
Yeah, just call the insurance company.
Thank you, sir.
One for that. I do only know the minute. This guy up here, kind of supervisor, he's wanting to go to jail.
The officer radios dispatch for a backup unit to arrive and also calls for a supervisor saying that this guy wants to go to jail. Yet, in just a few seconds, he's going to violently take this man to the ground. What possible reason did he have? If he thought it was necessary to bring another officer there, bring a supervisor there, just due to the circumstances, why did he do what?
Now, here's the thing. We all know that you don't have to sign the ticket. There was a communication language barrier. He could have just handed the guy the ticket and let him go on his way. You know?
Exactly.
What he did, when he did, there's no apparent reason that I can see that he could not have waited.
We stay here waiting for those children. We're not U-turn.
Okay, it doesn't matter about a U-turn or what. That lane,
And I heard she hit us.
I understand that, but you're not. You see where that car's at? Whenever you enter that area, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to leave any space at all. You're not supposed to leave any space at all.
You see that two car?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
I am the
The
top
way
car.
where your vehicle was located, your vehicle was not like that.
Sit up.
No.
You sit up.
Oh no.
No, see, sir. No. I have plan. I need the ambulance.
Yeah, I'm gonna call an ambulance.
That reminds me.
I saw. If you guys,
at the biker
if you
rally
guys
the other night.
yeah, if you guys go to like TikTok or YouTube and type in, you'll be able to see the unblurred version. I mean, you would think this guy weighs 75 pounds the way that he just slammed him to the ground. His daughter, whoever's with him there, obviously knows he needs the ambulance already within 3 seconds. Kind of reminds you of Carolina a little bit.
Yeah, wait till you see the clip from Galveston police the other night at the biker rally. They did the same thing to a guy for recording with a phone. We're going to get to that in a minute, audience, so stay tuned for that.
All right, let's keep going.
112 after low fire and
Apparently, in the officer's police report, he claimed that he was basically assaulted by the man. That the man hit him in the chest and then put his finger in his face and said, "Shut up." And that was why he was arresting him. But what did we not see or not hear in that footage? We never heard the officer telling the Vietnamese man that he was under arrest or that he was imminently about to be arrested. There were no orders given to which the man did not comply. There was no arrest communicated to which the man could have resisted. The first thing that transformed this into a routine encounter between a police officer and a driver involved in a traffic accident was the sudden and violent use of force by the officer. The main case on police officer excessive force is the U.S. Supreme Court case of Graham versus Connor. Now, that has 3 factors to be considered. But before we even get to that, a general holding of Graham is that police officers cannot use violent force against somebody who did not commit any serious crime and is not attacking them or resisting them or even evading them in any way. And I think that's what we have here is just a sudden, out of nowhere.
Did you pause it?
I muted my
Yeah.
mic. Sorry.
Good Lord, man.
One thing that I don't see that he pointed out, I want to go back real quick. And what the cop, I think, in the court are going to say is that he assaulted the cop. And,
What?
you know, just for touching a cop, they can get you for, you know, felony battery on a cop. So watch again. It looks like the guy gets frustrated and whatever he has in his hand, he flicks at the cop's chest. And that's when the cop gets upset.
Yeah, I got my screen zoomed in.
All right. Let's watch it again.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I am the
The way where
I'm the
your
thug
vehicle
cop.
was located, your
Thug
vehicle was
cop.
not like that.
See that?
Yeah.
He just thumped the cop's chest. So that's what they're going to say, that he assaulted the or battered the officer.
Sit down.
Because
No.
cops are so delicate.
Sit on the ground.
Oh, man.
So that's what precipitated him taking him down. So that's what they're going to use against him, that he touched the cop, which, you know, is BS. But yeah.
Cops are so sensitive. You can't touch them like that.
What do you guys think? You want to finish the rest of this one, or should we move on to the biker festival?
Show them that one, man.
Yeah, he definitely tossed him like a rag doll, Tapatio.
So did they take the old man to jail, or what? I'm sure they did. They had to after they did that.
Let's see. Let's jump ahead here.
What the charges were. Looks like he's going over it now.
To the
I'm
subject
sure everybody's
that
already
he
seen
was
this,
or
but I
would
haven't.
soon be under arrest. This is where they say that the arrest was transformed from a quote routine encounter only by the officer's use of violent force. And in light of Graham and other case law, a reasonable jury could very well find that the officer's use of force was excessive and therefore unconstitutional. And that's why qualified immunity was denied. There's another case, Perea versus Baca. This is one that the Vietnamese man could point to in a lawsuit to get past qualified immunity just by itself. And in that case, they said that at the time of Mr. Perea's death, it was clearly established law in the 10th Circuit that the use of...
He's just giving case law that the guy can use, but I just wanted to show you guys that one as everybody was coming in. Let me go ahead and cut to this biker one we got. This is the Lone Star Rally in Galveston, Texas, where Harvey's based out of.
Yeah.
And this was a Facebook live at me.
They were arresting people all weekend for revving their motors, and that's what this guy's getting arrested for. And then you're going to see an individual recording from his camera phone over here on the right-hand side of your screen, and they're going to slam this guy on the ground, break 5 of his ribs. He was in the hospital for 4 days. This happened just last weekend. It's truly disgusting. But as you can see, the police officer is accosting the guy on the motorcycle right now for revving his engine, and that's where this video is going to start.
Ready?
Yes. Now see the guy holding the camera phone? Right there.
The guy he's grabbing right there.
Yes, sir.
Let me back it up a couple seconds. This guy right here.
Yep.
All right.
Just standing in there recording was the only thing he did wrong. And that's not against the law.
Hey, I just want to stop this really quick, and I want to point out to the audience all the good cops out there that didn't allow this to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good cop. Look at, he picked the cone back up.
Yeah. The good cop is the one putting the knee in that guy's neck right now. Yeah.
Right? And everybody's standing around. Now, this guy just got slammed down for filming, but look at everybody in the background. Everybody's got their phone out and they're filming. Like,
and the mob is pissed. You can hear everybody protesting. They're disdain for these cops.
Nobody's doing everything. Everybody's kicking back, drinking their beer.
Yeah. Look how much pain he's in. You can see the guy is in severe pain. Then you got a bootlicker that comes up and starts shaking the cop's hand. That makes me sick, man. Look at him. He can't even stand up, man. He's got 4 broken ribs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a shame. I mean, absolutely a shame.
My buddy Bruce was able to find out who that guy was and made contact with him. I still don't know who that police officer is that slammed him, but I will figure it out. I've never seen him before. But Bruce gave him several lawyers' names to call, and the guy stated that he already had a lawyer working on it. So he is going to be filing a lawsuit on that. It's just ridiculous, man. The thug mentality that these cops had out there at the biker rally. I mean, over something petty, revving an engine. And I released a video the other night of them stealing a guy's motorcycle and writing him a citation over revving his engine. And
they completely diverted their attention from the revving engine to the guy that was standing there with a camera.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so
they're saying that
you're going to keep updated on that and fill us in when you find out more information?
Absolutely. But they're using the penal code disorderly conduct. And I already looked into the disorderly conduct penal code. And whenever you're dealing with noise, the penal code says that the person making the unreasonable noise has to first be warned by a magistrate or a police officer. And then after the warning, they must read the noise level on a decibel reader, and it has to be above 85 decibels for the disorderly conduct to kick in. None of these officers were out there warning anybody, and none of these officers had a decibel reader on them. So everybody that they did this to over the course of the biker rally, it was all illegal, unconstitutional tyrants, thugs with badges.
All right, well, keep up on that one, and then let's get into the content we wanted to talk about tonight. If you want to get into Hendry's situation, we can go ahead and get rolling on that. Too.
Yeah. It's up to you, whatever you want to get into next.
Yeah, go ahead and let everybody know what's happening.
Well, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows what's been going on with my buddy and our friend Craig Hendry. I have referred to him as one of America's most wanted First Amendment auditors. The only person that I could think of right off the top of my head that's been harassed and arrested more times than Craig Hendry is maybe Manuel Mata. I mean, they are consistently harassing this man over and over and over again. He's just got new charges of intimidation, felony, disorderly conduct, and refusing to leave an emergency scene, which is just ridiculous. And that violated his other ridiculous bond charge for stalking for going to the mayor's office and getting public records requests. It's just disgusting. And they really have it out for Craig. And I just want to point out, they really have it out for him, and they're showing discriminatory arrests because I think almost on every occasion, Ty or somebody else was with him. And these other people that are with him, they never get arrested. I'm not saying I want these other guys to get arrested, because I'm not. I'm just saying that they are specifically targeting Craig, and it's disgusting, man. It really is freaking disgusting. And it's sad, man, because I think the reason that they're targeting him is because he's so, for one, he's entertaining. For two, he is very smart, and he's very articulate, and he's very good at embarrassing these tyrants. I mean, this guy is has lawyer level knowledge, and he's able to articulate it really well. And he consistently embarrasses the government over and over and over again. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's clear retaliation what they've been doing to him, and it's disgusting, man. You know, it really is. It really pisses me off because he's a friend of mine, you know, a friend of ours.
Gotcha. So basically, in a nutshell, he'd been arrested. He was out on bond. He went down to the mayor's office to do some public records requests, and then they went ahead and arrested him. They arrested him, gave him no bond, and now they've set up trial for him on the 19th.
Yeah, but
Correct?
You have it just a little bit backwards. The thing with the mayor's office happened a while back, and he was out on bond for that. When this new thing happened, he was recording a traffic stop.
Right.
Yeah, he was recording a traffic stop, and they gave him intimidation, disorderly. And another thing, they didn't arrest him on the spot. All these charges were conspired weeks after the initial, incident happened, which, just goes to show you that they had to plan and get their ducks in a row and conspire, which is what they did to me on almost every arrest I've ever had. They always did it after the fact of me recording, and which just
where did they pick him up at? Do you know?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think he might have. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, so he went back into jail, no bond. They set up trial for the 19th, and you were just telling me today also that he's in a confinement to where he can't contact anybody either?
Yes, he's in the hole right now, from what Ty told me. He doesn't have any phone calls. I mean, it's just, yeah, he's in the hole, basically. Let me pull up the message.
All right. While he's pulling up the message, why don't you guys put in the chat where you're at? Where you're from, not where you're at, or both.
He said there's not a lot going on right now. His jury trial starts on the 19th, and it might last to the 21st. They did put him in segregation the other day, so he has no way of reaching out to anyone or making any phone calls. That's basically all he said. He sent some ways if people want to help. If you guys want us to put the links up to help, let us know in the chat. But yeah.
All right. Cool. Brandon from Kansas, Croft from Oregon. Tapatios, I thought you went out to California. It says you are you back in Phoenix? Janet's from Kansas. Buzz is from California. Creole from NOLA. United States Disorders from Arkansas.
Oh, I see a Harris County, Texas. What's up, Samuel?
From Prescott. Thanks for coming in, everybody. We're just trying to get this rolling. The point of the Cop Watch is it seems like the cops are trying to change their tactic and do whatever they can to start arresting more people and putting them in jail. So we want to kind of update everybody on the week's happenings in the Cop Watch and auditing community, and maybe shed some more light and some eyes on it so that some of these people who are smaller channels don't get snatched up and nobody knows about it. But the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and play a video from Hendry's channel. And that's the one, Harvey, that where he just got recorded, or is this the cop? Is this the traffic stop that caused the last arrest?
Yep. This is the traffic stop that caused the last arrest. Yep.
All right.
And violated his bond that he was already out on. And from what I've heard, it was a secret indictment, and they've kept this thing so secret. From what I've heard, you can't even freaking find it if you Google it or try to look it up. It's really secretive, which just shows even more that it's bullshit and that they're conspiring behind the scenes, and it's just trash. The whole thing's trash. And at the end of the day, man, even if they don't convict him, they don't care, because the process is the punishment. And they got this man in the hole right now fighting for his life and his freedom, on bullshit charges, man. It's really sad and it's really sick.
All right, let's go ahead and play this.
Within 25 feet of a law enforcement officer. A couple days ago, a federal court blocked the enforcement of that law because it is unconstitutional. So, that same night, I went out to exercise my freedom and news gather like I used to before the Indiana State Legislature tried blocking it. Enjoy the video.
All right, everybody, so here we are. We're going to go and see what's going on up here. These are some public officials, some police officers, so of course it is a matter of public interest to see what they're doing up here. We're going to gather as much information as we can before we let them head out.
Did you hit your mute button again?
I did. Sorry. I'm going to stop that for a second. Sorry, guys. I know rookie mistakes.
Good Lord, man. Twice,
United States of Disorder. Are you talking about James Freeman? Because I got an update.
Don't let it happen again, man.
I won't. I'll do my best. I need one of those microphones that light up when you mute it so I can see it.
Yeah.
If you're talking about James Freeman, he actually came into Tucson, and they went down to court for Tucson toe tag, and we had an arrest there. We'll get into it later, but if you're talking about James, yeah. Wherever James goes, somebody gets arrested. Every time he comes in town, I seem to get either arrested or close to it. All right, let's keep going. Sorry about it.
Wait, who got arrested?
You got to wait.
Okay.
Hopefully we can gather some information from them.
This guy's safe?
Man.
Ain't safe at all.
How did you?
So why are you wasting thought?
Unreal, man. You don't have YouTube Premium? Thought all YouTubers had that. How do you screen record a video if commercials pop up all the time?
All right. So for everybody in the chat and my channel and Harvey's channel, everybody, thanks for coming in. We had some technical difficulties getting this thing going with the volume and being able to hear each other. So I just downloaded Chrome, and I'm not signed into my YouTube account, and I don't even know the password. Okay. So I do have YouTube Red. So next time we won't have the commercials.
All right. I'm just busting your balls. It ain't that big a deal.
Fifth Amendment says nobody's obligated to answer any questions.
25 feet.
That law an injunction just got put on that law by a federal court, so you might want to check it.
Craig, 25 feet.
Sir, check the 25-foot injunction.
Craig.
Sir, check the 25-foot injunction.
Stop interfering.
Nobody's interfering, brother. Go back and do your job. Go back and do your job. I'm allowed to talk. Go back and do your job. I'm allowed to talk.
You are allowed to talk.
I'm allowed to talk.
You can't yet.
I can.
You can't yet.
Fuck you. I can't talk.
You can't yet.
Sir, get out of my face and go do your job.
Not in your face.
Go do your job.
You can't yell, Craig.
Stop interfering with my job.
25 feet.
Hey, the 25-foot law just got an injunction put on it by a federal court. So just kick rocks. Do you know what an injunction means?
Yes.
It means you can't enforce it. So fuck off. Fuck out of here. Yeah, nobody's got to answer any questions.
Craig, if you keep yelling, I will.
Nobody's yelling. Houston versus Hill. It's the Supreme Court. I just notified you of the case law that protects people talking. By the way, the Fifth Amendment protects people from not talking to you. If anybody wants to just not talk to you, they can do that. They can plead the Fifth. By the way, I'm going to need your name and badge number since you made contact with me. Honest to God, you got Matthew Price next to you, and he's doing a better job than you are. You should be ashamed of yourself. Matt, good job.
Pieces of crap.
So they're trying to say by him advising a fellow American of his rights that that's interference, and it's just not. It's not going to fly.
Well, let's get to the Tucson stuff later. And I mean, everything seems to fly nowadays, and I think the thing needs to be addressed too, that now that we have a new president coming in and his thoughts and spewings about the feelings for him on police, they're going to, I think, get more bolder and courageous to try and mess with the people in the auditing or cop watch community. That's just my opinion, but I think that they're going to get more brazen with what they're doing.
I've heard that he was saying all that crap just to get the police vote, and that it would really be really difficult to change the laws to give cops immunity. So I'm hoping he was just saying that crap to get votes. That's what I'm really hoping for. Because what a disaster that would be if he gives cops full immunity, man.
Yeah, I smoked a couple bowls of
opium. That would be
dark
times.
Yeah.
You did what?
I smoked a couple bowls of opium for that whole situation.
Okay.
Yeah, that he's just playing along, keeping your friends close, your enemies closer, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's still dangerous crap to be saying, man.
Well, I would say 90% of the police officers are probably, supporters. So, all right.
Yeah.
Sheriff, while you're not busy, can I get your name and badge?
Yeah, that's Gibbons 7712.
Gibbons or Givens?
Gibbons.
I got you. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
He's aware. I know.
This incident is a perfect example of why you don't talk to the police. From what I could gather through what I heard, this gentleman was sitting in his car on the side of the road when he was approached by police. He answered questions, took a breathalyzer test and a talk screen on the side of the road, and they used the evidence that he was willing to give them against him, and now they're going to take him to a cage.
Well, I was sitting here in the truck. We're driving still classified operating vehicle, but how did you have control of it? Not in control of one drive. Okay, well, I need that to work. All right.
So what we have here is a victimless crime. Unfortunately, this gentleman has been accused by these officers of having substances inside of him that the government does not approve of. The state allows officers quite a bit of discretion in situations like this, I think, although I don't know. It appears, though, that they are going to choose the caging route. Of course, if the police were on the streets getting murderers off the streets, rapists, thieves, there'd be a lot more sympathy towards their activities than them taking gentlemen like this and saying, hey, you've consumed something that we don't appreciate, and therefore we're going to do things to you. This is why we go out and do this kind of cop watching, so that we can show people kind of the cogs of government, how the cogs of government move. They move without discrimination. They move in a destructive manner.
Hey, can we pause
That's
it right
exactly
there for
what's
a second?
happening here, unfortunately, today.
Mr. Henry.
Okay, he makes a really good point, and I want to touch on that just for a second, man, because I'm sure a good percentage of Americans, and I know always before I learned my rights and really got into what policing was all about, when I was a sheep many years ago, when we would pass traffic stops, and this is the way most Americans are these days. We all think that when we pass these traffic stops on the side of the road, oh, they're getting a criminal. This guy must have been selling drugs, or he must have just robbed a store. And it's not true. When you pass these traffic stops, 90% of these cops in these traffic stops are stealing this person's money, attempting to dig through their belongings and search through their belongings. And they used a simple traffic infraction to stop them. And you'll see 4 or 5 police cars there, all with their lights on, with the highway blocked. And this individual had a tag light out. And that's what these traffic stops, 90% of them are about. So next time you pass one of these, and I know our audience knows this, but I'm just saying, the majority of Americans in the sheeple, when they see these cops doing these petty ass things, they actually think that they're going after and taking real criminals off the streets. And it's not true.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I want to give a shout out to my 13-year-old nephew who was driving with his mom today and told her to stop because some guy was getting tased and thrown on the ground. He grabbed his camera. He was a little bit slow with it, but good job, Alex.
Hell yeah, good job, Alex.
All right.
It takes balls to pull out your camera and record cops.
It does. Yeah, my sister kept driving, so I told her next time she needs to stop, pull into a parking lot. Even if you don't want to get out of your car, go park somewhere where you've got a good vantage point. Sit in your car and feel a lot more comfortable. But at least you might be helping somebody out.
Yeah, I had a ride along with me a couple of times. Been watching my channel for years, and on the second ride along, I told him, dude, this ride along's over. You got to start recording. And he just didn't have the balls for it, man. I had Sergeant Gaynor in my face, almost attacking me, and I look over and he's not recording anything. He didn't record anything all night, man. It takes balls to pull out a camera and record cops. That's my point.
Definitely.
So shout out to Alex, man. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, he's a little TikTok star over there with his video games. All right, you want to keep going on?
Yes,
Henry's
sir.
video?
Yeah, I didn't mean to derail it.
That's all right.
Yes.
You said victimless crime, right?
That's what I tend to refer to it as.
13,525 deaths directly related to operating a vehicle while intoxicated.
Yeah.
13,000. One of the most violent crimes that could happen.
That's a matter of opinion, I think.
I mean, think about it. Here we go. Think about all the people that's on the road that's driving, right?
The reason why it sounds weird right there is because he's got some background noise, and in the cap cut, you can isolate the voice. So he's isolating the cop's voice so you guys can hear it better.
That's not intoxicated.
Yeah.
Myself, my children, my grandchildren. Your brother just got his license, right? He's on the road.
So the reason why most cops tell you need to get back is because it's an officer safety thing. The first thing he does is says Craig's name when he approaches him, so he knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
And then don't you think it's pretty creepy that the cop says your brother just got his license? Why the fuck does the cop know that your brother just got his license?
Because he's been stalking him and researching him. And look how far away he is. He's not even real close to them.
Oh yeah. The one thing about Tucson is to Arizona, we got some bold cop watchers, and they push the limits of the 8-foot rule, the 1-foot rule. But all around the country, it seems like these people are trying to nip it in the bud and stop these people from getting close enough to audio record, because that's what we really need to do is get the audio.
Yeah.
What if someone was intoxicated and hit him and killed him with that? Would you consider that to be a victimless crime?
See, I think that running into somebody and hurting them, you create a victim. I do believe that. Amphetamines Matt, amphetamines, I think we can both agree amphetamines, the medicinal use for them is generally to help people concentrate, right?
No,
No?
absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. It causes significant impairment.
Oh, I'd agree. No, don't get me wrong. I'd agree that it can, but I think that the general prescription use for amphetamines is to help people with focus issues, mostly ADD, ADHD, stuff like that.
That's what is being used.
Well, that's what amphetamines are.
Well,
but that's particularly amphetamines, and we could try to split hairs about it. I don't think that we'll come to an agreement on the side of the road.
Even if someone is prescribed medication, right?
Yeah.
Regardless, whether it be amphetamines, whether it be opioids, whether it be whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, whether it be a CNS depressant, CNS stimulant, any of those things, narcotic analgesic, any of those things, you can still be impaired even on a therapeutic level.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Just because you're given that medication, that doesn't give you the right to drive impaired. So just as we would look on the side of a pill bottle or anything, what are one of the biggest warnings that we see that we tell people not to do? What's it say on the bottle?
I believe it says, well, a lot of the time it says don't drive, right? Don't drive on it.
Don't drive, right?
Right.
You can still be impaired even if it's...
Matt, let me make a distinction here between what I want to call victimless and what would create a victim. So I think like red flag laws are akin kind of to the driving while impaired, because if you get a red flag law, the goal of the red flag law is to stop somebody from creating a victim, right?
That's not what we have here.
No, but that is because you're trying to stop him from creating a victim when you don't really know if he's gonna or not. It's a preventative measure. And I think that when you get into preventing, when you take actions forcibly to prevent crime, I think then you get into dangerous territories. I'm not a really smart guy, so I don't really have the most well-formed opinions on every single statute, but you get what I'm saying. I have opinions, and I think that if he were to crash into somebody, he'd create a victim. He'd have to pay reparations in that sense, some restitution, I mean.
But don't you think that should be stopped before that victim gets hurt?
I believe it could, but I don't think the government's the way to do it, man. And that's really where I think that private road owners would prevent crashes a lot better than government.
Like the private people own the road?
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's the way the free market works is very unpredictable. So if we had it, I'm not sure that I'd get it right.
But I just couldn't see how that would be.
Yeah, a lot of people can't, but it's really just concrete laid in a straight line, man. People can do it.
Do it better than the government.
We disagree, but of course we do disagree.
Hey, William, do you have anything in your pocket? Okay, would you mind emptying your pockets out for me, please? Oh, no. But that's fine. Yeah, you can put it in your truck or whatever. That's okay. I just want to make sure you don't have no weapons. No, I don't have no weapons. Well, so what's going to happen, okay, like I'll let him give you that information, but he's applied for a warrant, okay, to draw your blood. All right. And the judge has granted him that warrant to draw your blood. So unless there's something I'm not aware of, I believe his intentions are to transport you down to the Vermillion County Community Hospital and draw the blood for what we would call a tox box that then we would essentially send off to the state lab, and then they would evaluate that from there. Okay. That's my intent, or that's my understanding. If there's anything else here, I can't tell you that, sir.
So I'm guessing what happened somewhere along that conversation, which seemed like a consensual conversation, somewhere in that conversation, that cop shit his pants. And then that's when they decided to charge Craig with intimidation a week after this night happened. I mean, how do you get, these guys have got guns. They've outnumbered him 4-1. They have tasers. They have bulletproof vests, and they charged him with intimidation. How the hell, Reluctant Prophet, tell me how the hell that's possible.
We live in America, the land of the free.
Yeah.
So did he have any more conversation with him after this, or have you watched the whole video?
I have watched the whole video. I mean, it pretty much goes back and forth like this to the end. and then
You want to keep watching it, or
that's completely up to you, man. I haven't seen any crime yet. They charged this man with intimidation, disorderly conduct, and refusing to leave an emergency scene for what you're seeing right here, right now. And the intimidation was a felony. So I haven't seen any crimes yet. What he's doing right now, I do on a regular basis. But I have been arrested for doing exactly that several times in Fort Worth, which reminds me of a point I wanted to make. The reason the podcast is called Contempt of Cop, it's not because we have contempt for all cops. It's not because we hate the police. We don't like bad police, but the reason it's called Contempt of Cop is because we've been arrested so many times for contempt of cop. The cops get butthurt, they get their feelings hurt, and they arrest us for it with bullshit charges. And, that's contempt of cop. That's the charges, and that's what Craig was arrested for on this night. They dreamed up all this disorderly conduct and intimidation, but basically what he was arrested for was contempt of cop. Would you agree or disagree with my theory there, Mark? Reluctant Prophet?
I agree. And you want to let's go something real quick right here. Check this out.
Alrighty.
So there's actually a Wikipedia page that says contempt of cop. So
yeah.
Contempt of cop is a law enforcement jargon in the United States for behavior by people toward law enforcement officers that the officers perceive as disrespectful or insufficiently deferential to their authority. Yep. So it's not an actual offense, it says, but the phrase is associated with unlawful arbitrary arrest and detention of individuals, often for expressing or exercising rights guaranteed to them by the United States Constitution. Pretty crazy that they got a Wikipedia page for it. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of people get arrested for contempt of God.
Yeah, I haven't seen a felony myself, so let's keep watching.
Okay.
I know this. I know. Like I can't answer that for you.
It's really going to be a tragedy.
That might help.
I was fixing to say, man.
That's why I gave you my card. I did that. Hey, listen to me. I want you to understand this, and I truly believe it. Listen, I believe that there are good people in the world that just make mistakes. We all do it, and I honestly believe that. Okay, so, but I also believe that we also have to be accountable for the things that we do. So, but I am totally just helping him on this. Okay, so the decisions from moving forward are up to Mr. Gibbons. Okay, that's how it is. Now I'm just gonna pat you down. Okay, just to make sure that you don't have no weapons. Okay, nothing that's gonna poke me, stick me, stab me, anything silly like that, right? Yeah. I appreciate you. You said you just want to put all this stuff in your card, or okay? Yeah, about 7,000. Yeah. A little bit of gas money. Okay, I got it. Promise. I drive. I'll call my family. Here's the problem, okay? In Indiana, we have what we call shall arrest. All right, there are certain crimes that get that. I know you don't have to do. Driving once.
Let me drive you. We're driving. Well, I was sitting here in the truck. We're driving.
Still classified robbery.
How?
Because you're in control of the game.
So I wasn't driving.
Well, I need that report. All right.
You're gonna arrest me, right?
What I have here is a Baker's warrant. The judge, Robert Cunley, the court judge, That's his signature right here. 928. Goes down to the top, okay? This is to take a blood urine test from it. Alright. You're not allowed to open that, okay? Are you gonna comply with this order? Yeah, okay. Some people don't. You grab your telephone, put your anything, put your wallet or anything, and grab your keys. Okay, well, I didn't know. And then, some people grab your keys away, you can lock it. He's not going to tell you everything. That way you can just lock it up and that nobody can mess with your stuff.
Fuck, at least you're doing that for him.
After we do the test, you are absolutely good to have one. But right now, I don't want if there's any foreign substances in that cigarette, they can impede the test. So after the test is complete, I'll let you smoke the cigarette, okay? Well, they'll run their test, and it'll go to the state lab as well. It gets tested. I get what you're saying, but they're going to test it with an independent test.
Yeah.
Pocket somewhere.
That's what I say. You're a little mess with that bucket.
The bucket?
What's
Yeah,
the bucket?
I
I use it for a toilet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we ain't messing with nothing.
Don't mess with the bucket.
I'll get a passenger side of my car, okay?
Should help a little.
Get a passenger side of my car, okay? Back to
Is this where the crime happens? I'm still waiting on this intimidation.
I'm just gonna, you have to put your handcuffs. I'm just gonna tuck you in the front, okay? It's just means I'm transporting you, all right? So I'll let you hold on to those items. I'm handcuffed in the front, all right? All right. Make sure you buckle up. Okay.
I think it's because he's holding that camera. That's where the intimidation came in.
Pull some more slack for you there.
It shoots 60 frames per second. It's a cop's worst nightmare. I'm still looking for this intimidation crime or disorderly conduct.
Yeah, if I'm standing there, I want to walk over there to that truck and put my hand on the hood and see if it's even warm.
No, the guy wasn't even driving. He was sitting there parked when they pulled up on him.
But he was in control of the vehicle.
Oh. And he did all this stuff voluntarily, man. He should have told those cops to kick rocks. I ain't answering questions. I'm not doing none of your tests. Leave me alone. And it would have been over with.
Yeah, they would have thrown him down on the ground like that first guy and took him to jail.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Hey, back that up for me.
So there you have it, everybody. That should be a good enough reason for you to not talk to police. This gentleman was sitting inside of his car on the side of the road. When he was approached by police officers, he was asked a series of questions, asked to perform a series of tests, to which he complied, thinking, if I'm more compliant, they're more likely to leave me alone. But of course, that's wrong, and he will be sleeping in a jail cell on this night because of that. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video. We'll see y'all in the next one. If you're of any interest in seeing more content like this, I go live on Facebook very often, so follow me at Craig Hendry on Facebook. We'll see you in the next video.
All right. I didn't see any intimidation in there. Did you?
I didn't see disorderly conduct either. I don't understand how they could charge him with refusing to leave an emergency scene. I mean, even though they've done away with the 25-foot law, he was still at least 25 foot away the whole time. So it was contempt of cop. We can all agree on that.
So they apparently long form charged him, and wherever they picked him up and then gave him no bond, which is absolutely ridiculous. And now he can't contact anybody 9 days before his trial.
Yeah.
So that's the situation with Hendry. We do have another video here that he sent a message from jail. Harvey, you want to go ahead and we want to play that?
That's up to you. If you want to skip on to the next subject, that's completely up to you, man.
What do you guys think? Should we? You guys want to hear the message from Craig, or you want to move on to the updates in Tucson?
I think that we pretty much talked about everything that he says in that message.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think we
All
did. I think we touched on everything.
Well, we'll update here in another week, which will be 2 days before his trial. So maybe we'll get some more information. We can just update everybody on that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
If anybody wants to help this man out, go to his channel, reach out to Ty. He could use all the support, man. From what I heard, he's asking people to send books to his jail. Vermillion County is where he's at. Ty has all the information on his channel. It won't be hard to find. If you guys want to help, just get over there and you'll find it pretty easy.
Let's see. Copy. Let's see if I can paste. Let's see if that goes through. There's his Cash App. If you guys do want to go ahead and donate to him and give him a hand for the legal fight he's got coming up, that'd be great. But now I guess we can go ahead and talk about the Tucson stuff. I was hoping to have a video, but Charo asked me not to share it today because of the crazy stuff they're doing here in Tucson. But for mine, I want to start out with an update on Mr. Gold. They charged him with another count of disorderly conduct.
What?
That was the charge that the day they were going to snatch him up, they came out there and his security guard corroborated that he wasn't making any noise. So they dismissed the charges, but they decided to bring him up after I made a video. Not only that, they came back out to his house. They trespassed on his property with the sheriff's department and the fire department. His last hearing, I didn't get to the last hearing, but the one before, I actually made it to the hearing. And it was one of the most bizarre situations I've ever had in court. As I was sitting there wasn't very many people in the room. And the judge's assistant, Marissa Michelle Delgado, who I guess I'm doxing because she's a public employee, got upset, and there was some talk about charging for doxing the court people. Well, when I got in the courtroom, she came over and asked me who I was here with. I told her I was just there to spectate, and she went back over, sat down, pointed at something with the judge, and then she reiterated that point and said, "So you're just here to watch?" And that was the point where the judge looked over at me, and he started to have a conversation about why I was there, what I was doing. Is there any information he could give me about the court and how things were working? They clearly knew who I was. It was a completely bizarre conversation. I'm requesting that audio, so I should be able to get that audio and put it up. But that's the update on Mr. Gold. The second update I want to update everybody on is Tuck Police Suck and his court case. He's still got, I don't know the exact number, 7, 8, 9 charges that they've stacked all together. and the prosecutor is asking for 6 months of jail for Tuck. So he's in a little bit of a fight. He's supposed to have a hearing coming up next month, but his public defender got in trouble with the bar and apparently is going to be suspended for 3 months. So they had Tuck's trial set for December, but it looks like that's going to get pushed off, and he still wants to do interviews with the rest of the cops. And then that leads me to 2 days ago, Tucson Toe Tag had his trial for disorderly conduct. Let me bring that up. We can actually look at that.
Man, what's going on in Tucson is bizarre, man.
Oh,
I think the city government of Tucson has got to be the most corrupt in America, man. Not necessarily the police is what I'm talking about, but the government itself, man. It's just wild. All the stories that are coming from there with Lane and Tucson police suck, pigs under pressure, the crap you're going through, Mr. Gold. Man, that place seems like the Twilight Zone, man. Harassing people with airplanes.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? Let's see. Is this it?
Yeah, firm audits. I seen the video you put out today, firm audits. I see your comment.
Yeah, and if anybody wants us to highlight any videos, shoot either me or Harvey an email, and we'll get them on the program or the podcast and see if we can get some more exposure. I don't think this is the video here. Let's see. I have the video. I was working on it. But yeah, so Tucson Toe Tag, he went for trial for obstruction. That's the one where he was standing behind the motorcycle cop that was given the DUI, and the other cop pulled up in the undercover car. And I read the police report, and in the police report, he put in there that he was upset that we drove by because we had full bottles of beer that we were holding on to, and they still had the lids on them, I guess. And so he made a comment about how we were trying to antagonize him. So we go down, do a cop watch at the same Circle K that I got arrested at. And that Circle K is like famous for getting people arrested. So he came down to help his partner, probably knowing we were going to be there. And instead of parking on the street or in a parking spot, he decided to pull up behind Tucson Toe Tag and get on the PA and tell him to move. Tucson Toe Tag moved a couple steps, and the officer was fine with that. He got back in his car and then decided that wasn't enough, jumped back out and arrested him for obstruction. And at that point, there were 15 other Tucson police that showed up. So that was what happened to him. He got railroaded in court. His judge was Judge Verena, the same judge that I had for getting arrested at that Circle K. That's also the same judge that Pigs Under Pressure had for his case where he was railroaded. And a little update on Pigs Under Pressure. His appeal didn't go through, so it looks like he's going to be on probation for his arrest with Tuck. Tuck's hasn't finalized because he got arrested at the VA and they added charges. So his case is taking a little bit longer. But at that trial for Tucson Toe Tag, I want to shout out to Girl with a Camera, El Charro Negro, James Freeman, Lane Myers, Tuck Police Suck. They were all there to support Tucson Toe Tag. I wasn't able to make it, but that's great that the support in Tucson, everybody showed up. And of course, we couldn't leave court without somebody getting arrested. So that's the video I was going to hope to show you guys, but El Charro asked me not to show it. The same officer that arrested Tucson toe tag that was there for the trial. As he was leaving, El Charro confronted him because he's the same officer that attacked and beat El Charro a while back. So El Charro started to talk to him and said some things that he didn't like. So when they got downstairs, Tucson police and I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. Let's see. He's a little scumbag. He's the one in all the videos that's always working there with Schwinn. Let's see.
Schwinn.
Yeah. What's his name? He sent me the ticket. So he got arrested for criminal trespass. So he's filming in court, or he wasn't filming in court. He left the courtroom was in the atrium. They have a center section that's open all the way to the top. And he was filming the officer while he was talking to him. And they walked down to the exit because the officer was going to exit. And instead of the officer just going and being the bigger man and walking out the front door, he went and called the security guards who are are Tucson police officers that are working off duty. So he had him come over, and instead of arresting him for filming, which they say is illegal, they arrested him for criminal trespass, 3rd degree, and resisting arrest, passive resistance. So it seems like every time anybody goes out in Tucson, somebody gets arrested.
Yeah.
You know? And then, so that's what happened a couple of days ago. And then the other update I wanted to give was Lane Myers. I don't know if everybody saw his court hearing last week. We can actually pull up that video. He went to a court hearing at Tucson City Court, the same place that all these guys were at, and El Charro got arrested. And I'll give you 3 guesses to what happened to him. Harvey, the first 2 don't count.
He got arrested.
He got arrested. He went in for his court date for arrest at City Hall for booing. So this guy's in there. Everybody was clapping, and Lane Myers decided to boo. So they arrested him for booing in court, or in city council meeting. So he goes to court and is going to be taking care of that hearing. As soon as he walked into the city court, he sat down, and the University of Arizona detective came into court and snatched him up and arrested him. Didn't allow him to go to court that day, and took him down and booked him for violating an injunction of harassment. And this was from the law school, the University of Arizona Law School, to where I guess Lane Myers called and left a voicemail. They got upset about that voicemail and filed an injunction of harassment against him. Now, crazy as shit. You've been out here, and we've driven down the main drag speedway down by the university.
Yeah.
So on that street, that main 6-lane road is the University Law School. And right next to it is a Circle K. Lane Myers pulled into the Circle K. One of the students supposedly saw him pull into the Circle K. And that's what they're arresting him for, violating the injunction of harassment.
They had that Circle K under surveillance.
Like, I mean,
flock cameras probably that read your license plates. They were waiting on him.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I don't even doubt these days that they're not tracking our phones, and when we're that close to it, then they say, oh, somebody saw you, but really it's the police who have your GPS coordinates wherever you go. You know?
Yeah.
So let's pull up his arrest here.
Contempt of cop.
That's it.
They arrested him for contempt of prosecutor is what they got Lane for here recently.
And if you notice the theme here, every time I talk about something, it's like the same few cops, probably the same in Galveston, that don't give a shit about your rights or, you, and just abuse the system.
It is, man. It really is.
Let's see.
But they're being encouraged from up higher to behave in that way, man.
Yeah.
And when they do, go ahead. And when they do make these bad arrests, and then we beat them, they're not told that they did anything wrong. They're actually encouraged that they still did good. You did a good job.
Well, they always get a promotion. They always get a promotion. Every time they seriously violate somebody's rights, they either get a challenge coin or they get a promotion. It's sickening. So here's the so I guess Lane Myers had this live stream going in his pocket when he walked into court. So the first 3 minutes or whatever isn't really anything. So I'm just going to cut to when he steps into court.
We're not seeing anything.
There is no video. I'll put it on the screen, but there is no video.
Oh, it's just audio. Okay.
It's just audio of him, but you can see the see what's going on.
Person, please, you're under arrest. For what? For investigation.
Let me back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Not on the lawsuit. For what? For investigation. Okay. So I don't be my and prosecutor's aware, so I think we can do it. I let it in, yes, against it. And which not the. Don't need to. Do you not get good prosecutor? All set. No, I mean, that's a good one. You guys are all signing your own lawsuit, you know that, right? What do you mean? That number? 10 times. So you're the complainant for the signing of the ticket or whatever? I didn't know that. Who is? You're not good. Where are you going?
I don't know if you can hear it very well, but he got arrested for what I was talking about. They took him down. They let him go on his own recognizance, but they're just trying to stack charges on all of us, make everything more difficult, cost us money. And you have Judge Verena, who is just, she's not even a judge, first of all. She's only a magistrate. And she's absolutely the feelings police, 100%. She has no qualms about violating your rights or continuing the violation of your rights and finding you guilty for something you weren't even guilty of. I mean, Pigs Under Pressure, he was literally out on the sidewalk, and the situation where the police were 300-400 feet away, and the judge said that the police can tell you to leave the public sidewalk if they feel like there's a reason that they need you to leave. And that he should have left standing on the public sidewalk out on the main road in front of the apartment complex, and found him guilty. It's just bullshit.
A total shit show.
Yeah.
This is the standing army that our forefathers warned us about, ladies and gentlemen.
100%. And hey, Tucson Toe Tag, thanks for coming in, buddy. Sorry about the unfortunate situation with your court hearing. Sorry I couldn't make it. Yeah, it's Tucson's horrible. I mean, you've been to the police departments, and none of the police departments, sheriff department, you can't go in the front door. They got a metal detector outside on the sidewalk before you walk up to the little window with bulletproof glass that you've got to talk to these people through.
Yeah, because they've declared war on the people. That's why.
Yeah, it's insane. And next time I'll be a little bit more prepared. I was trying to do all the setting up the StreamYard, and I didn't have all my videos ready.
It's all good, man. You did amazing.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Let me see, though. I do want to.
XXGO, what's up, man?
I do want to take.
See you later, Samuel.
All right. Char was supposed to send me a video. Oh, the last point. Sorry. And so all of that stuff happening led up to the other night when we did our live stream for the city council meeting. And that's why Freeman wanted to show up, Girl with the Camera, Tucson Toe Tag. Everybody showed up and a couple of people spoke. I think there was, what were their names? Grande Johnson. Tuck used his name, and Pigs Under Pressure. He got up there and spoke.
And they locked Lane out of the building. Is that still the story?
I think he was late coming from the law library, is what he had said. So I think that they lock it so nobody can come in after it starts to, interrupt the meeting. They don't want people in and out the whole time. So that's understandable, but
it's understandable that they break fire code and lock everybody inside and don't let people come in if they're 5 minutes late. That seems weird, man. That seems crazy. People ought to be able to come and go out of that building as they want.
You can't go in any building. Take a look at any of Joey's videos. I went to the library one time and was trespassed from all 27 libraries in the county. So,
yeah,
Tucson's bad, and
tyranny's on a whole nother level in Arizona.
They need to understand that we're all going to make it a lot more well known what they're doing here.
Yeah,
they're just giving everybody more motivation here, and just wait. In the next couple of months, we're going to have a lot more people out in Tucson. I'm going to be doing a lot more things on YouTube. I got a lot more videos that I've just been sitting on.
I've seen those videos, and you are not lying. Really good videos.
I think I got 9 body cams from when I got arrested. I haven't even put out my own video about that arrest. It ended up getting dismissed. And with the same judge that those guys had, and the only reason mine got dismissed, I'm 100% sure, is because I actually spent money and got a lawyer. And we got him off. We got off on a technicality. So I got to put that video out. I'm going to try and get some stuff going. The other stuff that's going on here in Tucson, the video I'm working on right now is so that our sheriff just got reelected. Well, a couple of months before the reelection in August, there's a guy who, interestingly enough, got arrested and said that his name was Joey Lopez, same as Joey Surreal Camera. And he got arrested for some felonies. I can't remember. It was drugs, possession, something going on. And they took him into the jail. They booked him in. They fingerprinted him. He spent a few hours in there, went to court. Actually, let's do that one. Let's show that real quick. That's a pretty cool one. So this guy's name is not Joey Lopez. His name is Chris DeFrenchie. His brother's name is God DeFrenchie, and his other brother's name is Lord DeFrenchie. They're a wonderful family. They all have felonies as far back as you can go. These people have been in Tucson for several years. I mean, the sheriff's department knows Mr. Gold's car from 6,000 feet in the air with an airplane, and this guy's just made some noise that his neighbors are annoyed about. These two brothers with weird-ass names have been terrorizing Pima County and Tucson and have rap sheets as long as their arms, and they were able to get arrested. Not one of the sheriff's deputies knew who he was. Went into jail, fingerprinted. The fingerprint machine didn't come up and say that name doesn't match the fingerprints. Obviously, the guy'd been in prison, so his fingerprints are 100% in the system. And then goes into court and listen to what the judge says. It's just so bizarre.
10-4.
Let me share this tab.
Yes, Brandon, we're planning on doing this every week. Prophet has really had his foot up my ass to be doing this every week. It's kind of crazy because today when we got ready to do this, he has outlines, itineraries, note cards, and I showed up with a shirt with a spaghetti stain on it, and I'm like, man, you're going to embarrass me, man. But it's went pretty good. It went pretty well.
I can't find these videos. I should be better. I got all your videos queued up, and like I said, I didn't take time to get the ones I was trying to figure out.
I was just answering questions. I seen Brandon ask the question. He was asking me to do this every week.
Go ahead and talk with the chat. I'm going to try and find this.
Yeah, he had me super intimidated right before the podcast started. He's sending me outlines that he did and itineraries and talking points, and I'm like, man, I haven't written anything down, man. This is gonna be bad. Oh, his moderators are pissing and moaning. They ban me. Who are you talking about, Lenny? His moderators. My moderators?
All right. I got the video. You ready?
Found it. Okay. Yep. I'm ready.
All right. So yeah, this is the guy. And so he got arrested. He got arrested in August. Somewhere around August, and then this was his initial arraignment for felonies.
Hi, sir. What's your full name?
Joel V. Lopez.
Right, sir. Sorry, you're here because you've been charged with theft of means of transportation, burglary in the third degree, possession of a dangerous drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I will enter a not guilty plea for you. You have the right to remain silent and the right to an attorney. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. Pretrial services tells me that you are in the lowest possible risk category for nonviolent felony offenses. Notably, you have no criminal history whatsoever, at least no felony criminal history. I don't believe there's any criminal history. The state is asking that I release you to pretrial services. Sir, frankly, I'm going to ask you a question if your attorney doesn't mind, and I'll say the question before she can tell you whether to answer it or not. I'm inclined to release you on your own signature because you are literally in the lowest risk category. But if you think that getting an occasional reminder from pretrial services about your court dates is going to be helpful to you, I'm happy to release you to pretrial so that you get that. So Why don't you talk to your talk to your attorney really quick, just for one moment, and then she'll let me know what her response.
No, I'm all right.
All right, sir.
I just
Oh, you want to be released on your own signature?
yes, no.
All right. So, sir, my understanding of pretrial services, the way they supervise someone in your risk category is almost nothing. They basically give a court reminder. Given your risk category, I don't find that that's necessary. So I'm releasing you on your own signature. I am going to order that you do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, that you do not have any contact with the alleged victim, and you do not go to that person's residence or workplace. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing on September 3rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. Sir, that court date is very likely to change. So you need to stay in touch with the pretrial services and with your lawyer's office to make sure that they can tell you when your court, no, sorry, you're not releasing your pretrial services. You need to stay in touch with your attorney. The only way you're going to know if your court date changes is if you're in touch with them so they can tell you. If you miss that hearing, you will get a warrant, okay? Do you have any questions about your release conditions?
No.
All right, good luck, sir.
Okay.
So this guy gives them a fake name for committing felonies. The judge is like, you don't have any criminal history. Nobody looked into nobody recognized him in jail. It's all a lot of the same people in jail. So none of the sheriff's department recognized this guy when they went to arrest him for felonies. When the fingerprints came up, nothing came back saying that this wasn't the guy that matched the fingerprints. Then you have all the people in the jail that have worked there for a long time that don't recognize this guy at all. So they let him out, and guess what he does? He goes and murders a father of 4.
Well, hold on. Didn't you say he used Joey's name?
Well, he used a different middle name. I actually asked Joey what his middle name was. It was a different middle name. But it is strange that he came up with Joey Lopez.
Yeah.
And that they pull up an actual folder for Joey Lopez that had apparently they had to make a new folder because there's no criminal record for this guy. This guy's got tattoos, looks like a thug. They obviously know he's lived, like, it doesn't even make any sense. So then they go out, he gets let out and goes and murders a father of 4. They arrest him, and I was just looking for the video from the news, and I can't even find it. Like, the news is horrible. Whenever they put something out on Sheriff Nanos or something, it gets
They bury it.
Yeah, and you can't find it again. I'm putting the guy's name in there. Let's see.
It sounds like that family's going to have a lawsuit against that county that let this guy out, man, because that's negligence on their part. I mean, how are you going to let this guy give you a fake name and you didn't even figure out who he really was, and you let him out and he murdered somebody? Man, I'd be pissed if that was my family member, man.
Yeah, father of 4.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Ruin that whole family, man.
Yeah, I can't even find the video from the sheriffs at this point. You can't. It's just like buried. I actually downloaded it for my video, so I'll be able to put it in my full video. So this guy goes out and murders somebody, and it's interesting that it happened right before the election. And then I don't know if it was to bury that story, but the sheriff put his opponent, a female, Heather Lappin, on administrative leave because apparently she talked to a news company or something like that, and then somebody else got suspended that was wearing clothes that looked too close to the uniform.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was kind of strange that all came out, but who knows if it was to bury this story, because the sheriff just came out and said that it was his fault that they let this guy out to murder somebody.
Unbelievable, man.
And then so I go ahead and look, and while I'm getting the information for this video, I checked out the sheriff's department org chart, and I wanted to see at the corrections bureau, who would be responsible for the intake and making sure that, you know, people were getting processed correctly. Who would be in charge of that? Well, let's go ahead and look in the corrections bureau. Well, let's see. We got the intake. We got the intake section. Oh, let's look who's in charge of the intake section. Lieutenant Heather Lappin, the other idiot that was up for election. So the sheriff, incompetent, is responsible for everybody under him, lets this guy get out and get murdered, and his direct report, or one of his reports, who's supposed to be in charge of the jail intake, is the person who's running against him, who he put on administrative leave. Now, she was on leave after this guy got let out and murdered the dude, but still, that's what you have. You got an incompetent sheriff who's had, I think there's been 30 deaths in the last couple of years in the jail. He's got one of his deputies that last Christmas raped one of his fellow employees, and they've been trying to keep that on the down low, and our board of supervisors still wants him investigated after the attorney general basically said they were doing nothing wrong. He's got several lawsuits against him for violating people's rights. I have 3 lawsuits against them. So
unbelievable. And then you got a guy like Craig Hendry, who didn't even commit a crime, and his crimes are contempt of cop, and they've buried him under the jail. No bond. They're not going to miss. Yeah. They're not going to accidentally let him out. Yeah.
No, I doubt it.
Yeah.
That was all I really had for today. Just wanted to go over some stuff. I'll have some more videos. Hopefully I can get El Charo's arrest out. And I'm going to try and get out some more content, because Tucson seems to be getting worse, not better.
I know, man. It's crazy.
So, I didn't share the tab. I share that tab. Right now, Sheriff Nanos is being investigated by the FBI. Is he really 857 Tucson? That's really good to know, because the FBI plane came in town, was actually flying over my house. Thank you for coming in, Dreamy Lynn. Thank everybody for coming in. That's interesting. Do you have any more information or anything you can send me on that 857 Tucson? I'd really like to check more into that. But yeah, there was no good choice between Heather Lappin, and an interesting little side story before we go. So the way that I got into this, thanks 857, I'll check it out. The way that I got into this situation was I got arrested for stopping and having a conversation with a deputy that was running down my road. And everybody I talked to in the neighborhood says people that run down that road, they're nuts, because there's no median, there's no shoulders, there's nothing. So I stopped and had a conversation, because he almost caused an accident. And he retaliated by filing an injunction of harassment, said that I yelled at him. And when I was looking up that guy on YouTube, his name was Deputy Knurr, I came up with El Charo Negro's video, and that's how I first got into the community. And that video, that same deputy, which was about a month after I got arrested, told those guys they were allowed to go into the jail and film as long as they were quiet. Well, as soon as they walked in there, Heather Lappin, the one that was up for against Sheriff Nanos for the position, she was the one that actually arrested those people that same day. And from what I hear from Tuck, she was actually disciplined. We don't know exactly how, but she was disciplined for arresting those guys. And I can't show that video either because Charo's channel got taken away, and Catilla the Hun, it was on her channel too. That's where I first saw it. All of her videos are gone too. That's about it, man. You got anything else?
No, just that we were supposed to start this at 7 Eastern time, but we had technical difficulties, which made it run an hour late. We'll get better. The more we do this, the better we'll get. But,
any questions from the everybody watching?
money on. They're asking me how they can help.
Hendry? I got, let's see. Who?
Yeah. Post his link in there. They're asking me how people can help Lafayette County Audits, which he called me today. He's in Parchman, which is the notorious prison in Mississippi, Parchman. That's where he's at. He called me today, and he damn near got in a fight with somebody while he was on the phone. He was right in the middle of talking to me, turned around and said, "Man, you're always over here making noise when I'm on the phone, man." And they ended up getting in a big argument, and then I was just waiting because he's a little guy, man. He ain't nothing. And I was
Lafayette County what?
Lafayette County Audits.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know how. I don't even know how you guys can donate to him. He doesn't have any open accounts because he's in jail. If you guys want to put money on his books, send it to my PayPal or my Cash App and just put a cliff note that it's for him, and it'll go on his books because I put $30 on his books 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, that Firm, or you just give me a call, Firm. We'll figure something out.
That's his Cash App right there that I put up there. You can copy and paste that in the search bar.
If you call me, Firm, I will show you the exact link that you can put the money on for his canteen. That way you don't have to give it to me. And, I know people will feel better when they put their money right where they want to put it. So it's, just get a hold of me, Firm.
I want to give a shout out to Press Harder, who's been out with Phoenix Auditor, West Side Accountability. I think we definitely need to get everybody back out there. It kind of slowed down for a little bit there, but I think everybody else needs to start doing some public records requests, and that's what really gets them. Start finding out something's going on. There's some body camera footage from a situation that's going on in your town, and see if you can get some of it from the sheriff's department or from the your local municipality. The other thing, too, I wanted to mention was the news put out an article about the sheriff and just like whitewashed him letting somebody out that murdered somebody. And so now we just recently got body cam footage in Arizona, but yet the news didn't even ask, hey, let's see the body cam footage. And I want to hear this guy tell the sheriff's department that his name was Joey Lopez. I want to hear the other body cam footages and see what they said when they arrested this guy. Why didn't the news ask for any of that? Right before an election, the sheriffs let somebody out and they go murder somebody and the news doesn't even cover it. That's what I'm just getting more and more pissed off. Like the news media hasn't even picked up Mr. Gold's story. You got an airplane that's out here flying over somebody's house because he supposedly ran over a freaking bush and flying over, spying on them for 15 minutes. The one time we got evidence of, and not a peep from the news media. 600,000 people or more, or probably 1 million now, watched it on Here's the Deals channel, and the The only thing that they did was double down and charged him with more charges and threatened him with felonies. They've now threatened him with wire fraud because they said he supposedly bought an iPhone on his own account and then called and said that somebody else did it. And then they also mentioned that they were going to charge him felonies for animal abuse. Like, I don't know what's going on here. These people are all corrupt. Not only does the FBI need to be investigating the sheriff, they also need to be investigating Laura Conover. Laura Conover is the attorney for Pima County, and she, when she got hired on as the county attorney, they put in a bar complaint, and she actually agreed to diversion to mitigate the situation, and she's keeping the details of the diversion secret and won't allow it to be released. I mean, it's almost like we live in a different country in Arizona. It literally does.
Yeah. It's like a third world country, like a dictatorship, communist state.
Pretty close to Mexico. Maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know. But
yeah.
All right, man. I'm going to go ahead and get some other stuff done with the dogs. I got to let them out and take care of some stuff.
All right.
I think
we'll see y'all later.
It went pretty well. Thanks for coming in, everyone. Have a good night, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Whatever you do, don't have contempt for cops.